Today, we're diving into a true classic, Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. We're going to pull out the single most important, the most foundational idea for how to deal with, well, anyone really.
So let me ask you something. What if I told you that all your technical skills, your expertise in engineering or coding or whatever it is you do, only makes up about 15% of your financial success? Sounds kind of crazy, right? But the research is clear. That other 85%, that's where the real magic happens.
And that stunning number, that 85%, it comes from research backed by the Carnegie Foundation. They discovered that the overwhelming majority of our success comes down to our skill in, get this, human engineering. It's a fancy term, but what it really means is your personality and your ability to deal with and lead other people.
And you know who understood this better than almost anyone? John D. Rockefeller. He said the ability to deal with people is a commodity, just like sugar or coffee, and he'd pay more for that ability than for anything else. I mean, that's why this is so huge. And it's exactly why Dale Carnegie wrote this book, to give us a practical guide to mastering that very skill. Okay, so let's dive into the single most important principle in the whole book. Carnegie had this great analogy for it. If you want to gather honey, you don't kick over the beehive. It's simple, but it's the absolute foundation for everything else we're going to talk about. And that principle is this: don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Why? Because criticism is just futile. It doesn't work. All it does is put people on the defensive, it wounds their pride, and we all know how much that stings, and it just makes them dig in and justify what they did, instead of actually thinking about changing. I mean, think about it from a psychological standpoint. We are just wired to push back against condemnation. It's a natural human reaction. So when you criticize someone, you're not sparking change. Nope. You're just breeding resentment. That's it. And here's the kicker. Carnegie says criticisms are like homing pigeons. They always return home. The person you criticize is almost guaranteed to turn around and condemn you right back. It's a boomerang, and you're the one who threw it. All right, to really see how deep this goes, Carnegie takes us somewhere pretty extreme. He wants us to look inside the minds of people who are, without a doubt, 100% in the wrong. We're talking about hardened criminals. Let's take Two-Gun Crowley. This guy was a notorious killer. Back in 1931, he was cornered in an apartment surrounded by like 150 cops. There's this huge shootout, and while he's lying there, literally bleeding out on the floor, he takes the time to write a letter. And you will not believe what he wrote. Under my coat is a weary heart, but a kind one that would do nobody any harm. Let that sink in. This is a cop killer we're talking about, a guy who murdered an officer, and he saw himself as a kind person who was just defending himself. He blamed himself for nothing. Zero. And this is the whole point, right? Crowley, Al Capone, who famously called himself a public benefactor, these guys never blamed themselves, ever. They just rationalized everything they did. So that leads to a pretty powerful question, doesn't it? If ruthless criminals who are so obviously in the wrong don't blame themselves for anything, then what about the regular people we deal with every single day? Our coworkers, our family, our friends? Okay, so let's flip this around and look at a masterclass in how to handle this from none other than Abraham Lincoln. But here's the thing, he had to learn this lesson the hard way. So the year is 1863. The Battle of Gettysburg just ended. Lincoln has this incredible, golden opportunity to end the Civil War right then and there. General Lee's army is retreating, but they get trapped at the Potomac River. It's swollen, they can't cross, they're sitting ducks. Lincoln orders his general, a guy named George Meade, to attack immediately. He's sending telegrams, messengers, he's practically screaming, "Go!" But Meade hesitates. He calls a council of war, which was against his orders, and just waits. And in that time, Lee's army gets away, the whole army. As you can imagine, Lincoln was furious, just beside himself with rage. He said to his son, "Great God, what does this mean? We had them within our grasp." And in that white-hot anger, he sat down and wrote Meade a letter, a really, really nasty letter. In it, he wrote, "Your golden opportunity is gone, and I am distressed immeasurably because of it." I mean, this was one of the harshest rebukes Lincoln ever put on paper, the kind of thing that would just crush a person's career. But Meade never got the letter. And this is the whole lesson right here. Why? Why did Lincoln put it aside?
Because after venting all that frustration onto the page, Lincoln did something that made him a great leader. He stopped, he thought about it, and realized, okay, sending this letter will make me feel better for a second. But what else? It's just gonna make Meade defensive. It'll make him resentful. It would completely damage his ability to lead in the future. It might even make him quit. Lincoln knew from bitter experience that sharp criticism like that would accomplish absolutely nothing useful, so he never sent it. So that's a fantastic story, but how do we take that lesson from Lincoln and actually use it in our own lives? I mean, how do we build that kind of self-control? Well, Carnegie is really clear on this. This isn't just about learning a cool fact. You are literally trying to form new habits, a whole new way of living. And that stuff takes time, it takes persistence, and you gotta apply it every single day. He actually suggests a really practical system for this, a weekly self-review. It's something a big shot Wall Street banker used to do. Once a week, you just sit down and think about your interactions. Ask yourself, okay, what mistakes did I make? What did I actually do right? And how can I get better? What's the lesson here? And really, this all comes down to the core idea, which Benjamin Franklin summed up perfectly. He made it his personal rule. I will speak ill of no man and speak all the good I know of everybody. Instead of jumping to criticism, try to understand. Try to figure out why they're doing what they're doing. It's a game changer. So I'll leave you with this question. Who is one person in your life that you could try to understand this week instead of criticizing? Because that little shift in your own mindset, it's more helpful, it breeds more goodwill, and frankly, it's a lot less trouble than just condemning people. By trying to understand others instead of judging them, you unlock the very first secret to winning friends and influencing people.